Hey guys, Tom at Snake River Base. I want to talk a little bit more today about base skills progression, meaning what skills you should learn when you start into base jumping and in what order I think that you should do them. This is the progression we follow at the school, and it's the progression we follow at the school because I think that it's the most logical order to learn base skills in to reduce the chance that you're injured as you move forward. We start out by learning the fundamental skills of base jumping. These are things that you must know in order to base jump. If you know all of these, you'll be able to access the vast majority of jumps in the world. If you only know some of them, they're going to be jumps that you simply cannot do. The skills can easily be identified by following the order of a jump. We start out with packing. You must know how to pack or you're not going to be able to jump. You must know how to pack slider up and slider down. You have to know both of these because when you're packing slider up, you're packing for delays of generally 5 seconds and more, which means that if you don't know how to pack slider up, your first big wall tracking trip to Europe is going to be a disaster. You have to know how to pack slider down because slider down is generally required for delays of 4 seconds and less off of especially solid objects, but most other objects also. That means that if you don't know how to pack slider down, you're never going to get to take a trip to Moab and jump the cliffs there. After you learn to pack, the next skills you need to learn are exit skills. There's 2 goals to the base exit. The first one is stability. You want to make sure the jumper is stable and not rotating. And the second one is separation. You want to be as far away as possible from the object at opening. Notice that neither one of these skills is more important. Both of them are critical skills. You must create maximum separation and you must be stable. Don't think that you can figure out how to get a stable exit at the beginning and you'll fix the separation later. Make sure from the very beginning you're pushing off as hard as possible and you're completely stable. After a good exit, and assuming that you've learned free fall skills from skydiving, you need to learn how to deploy the canopy. There's 4 different methods of canopy deployment that you should learn. The first is a pilot chute assist, which is when another jumper stands behind you holding your bridle and pilot chute to extract the canopy as you leave the object and reach line stretch. In general, we do this for beginners to get their canopy out before their bad body position ruins the jump, or for jumps that are so low that we need to get the canopy open immediately. The next deployment method is handheld. That's when you have the pilot chute in your hand. In general, we do that for delays of 1 second or less. And when you go handheld, you're doing so because you cannot afford a pilot chute hesitation. You want to be open as soon as possible after deploying the pilot chute. The third method, which is the default method for the vast majority of jumps today, is stowed. That means the pilot chute is in the BOC on the bottom of your container, same as you would for a skydiving rig. Generally, we go stowed on any base jump with a delay of more than 1 second. It gives us our hands back to do aerials, to track, to do other things like climbing over more easily on a difficult exit point. But in general, we go stowed because it's the default position. Everyone learned to deploy a canopy while skydiving from a stowed position, and it's the easiest for most people. The last method is static line. A static line is effectively a PCA you're doing for yourself. The most common situation for rigging a static line is when you've gone to do a PCA jump with several friends, you've PCA'd all your friends off of this low object, and now you'd like to jump too, but there's no one left at the exit point to PCA you. There are some other situations in which you'll rig static lines, but that's definitely the one we see the most use for a static line. Last 2 fundamental skills are canopy flight and landing. We should view these as separate skills, but they're obviously related. And how you fly and land the canopy is going to be different from how you fly and land a skydiving canopy, partly because our canopies are different. We have large, floppy F117 cells, and partly because our landing areas are different. We often have small areas, sometimes at an angle, covered with rocks. They don't look anything like the landing area of your drop zone. Those are the fundamental skills of base jumping, and in general, those are the skills we focus on here at Snake River Base in the fundamentals course. Next time I'm going to talk about safety skills and other additional skills that you can learn after that.